Hi, it's Steve Summers and Eric Skopil for EUGENE.com. Eric, we just got out of Coach Mark Helfrich's weekly media conference here at the Autzen Complex. What did he have to say?
Well, you know, I think one of the things that everybody wanted to know throughout the day, and myself included, as you can tell by the interviews we did, is there going to be a different mindset now because, you know, new regime here, Helfrich, a lot of the same coaches, but Helfrich replacing Chip Kelly, rivalry week, first time that we're going to have experienced that, and kind of everybody seems to, the consensus seems to be that it's not going to change things. You know, the new coaches said that there seemed like there were more excitement, perhaps. New coaches being Lubick and Aiken, that there may be more excitement from the players' perspective, but the coaches are still preparing the same way.
You know, it struck me that when Coach Helfrich was asked about him being grown up as an Oregon fan here in the state of Oregon, and his memories back, and you know how that all played into it, and basically he really sidestepped the issue as far as being a fan, but he said that really what they focus on, what the things that they have control over, and that's their preparation.
Yeah, and he said that's the way they contribute to the rivalry. You know, they can't contribute, you know, like the fans do. They contribute by winning the football games, which, you know, has an effect obviously on the rivalry, and obviously over the last 9 years, their success has really heightened this rivalry from an Oregon perspective. Well,
and he also had a lot of very positive and generous things to say about the Washington running attack, the quarterback, and a lot of the players. He expects that there's going to be a good game.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that stands out, and it was brought up by one of the reporters, is that Bishop Sankey has carried the ball 21 more times than anybody in the conference this year, and in fact he's had 2 games where he's carried it 35 times or more, which is an awful lot. I think Oregon, the most anybody has carried it this season has been DeAnthony. He carried it 18 times the first game, so that's a little bit of perspective there. So, yeah, I mean, their running attack is really improved, and you know, one of the things that's been, I think a lot has been made out of, is how they've kind of started to mirror Oregon both offensively and defensively. And Helfrich said, yeah, they've changed their schemes. They're very similar to us, which helps us in preparation because we don't have to go out there. You know, we can kind of the scout team can play as us on both sides of the ball.
Now, speaking of running games, of course, the Oregon running game, the question that was asked, and Coach Gary Campbell came out, and the first question everybody asked is, DeAnthony going to play? He basically said, well, he didn't know. They'd have to wait and see, but he apparently is working out.
Yeah, it sounds like he's practicing. You know, yesterday there were reports, and I saw it with my own eyes, that he was not wearing a boot post-practice, which is a good sign. You know, obviously last week even he was wearing pads during practice, so you know, a good sign there. You know, we'll see how that plays out on Saturday. Now,
speaking of the two running backs that you have, basically Coach Helfrich said it would just be a matter of taking reps. They're going to get better with reps.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. You know, the health of DeAnthony Thomas obviously will play a huge part in terms of how many reps those guys get this Saturday. Going forward, though, yeah, you know, if games are one-sided, like we think some of them will be, you know, how many reps do those guys get could have a huge effect on their, I guess, progression going forward.
Well, you know, and he made a point of talking about Thomas Tyner, how Thomas Tyner is building his, what he called his toolbox, putting tools in the toolbox, so all he has to do now is just go out and play.
Yeah, and I think the thing you've seen out of Thomas through 4 games now for him, obviously he missed the first game, is just kind of a lack of consistency. You know, last week it was 19-yard run followed by a negative 7-yard run, or you know, obviously he fumbled it again. He's had 2 of the team's 5 turnovers, so it's just a consistency thing with him, which you expect out of a true freshman. And remember, DeAnthony Thomas fumbled twice in the LSU game, his debut, so there's those kinks you have to work out, and they'll just get better with time.
Well, one thing that Thomas Tyner's done, he's scored in every game he's played.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, he's on pace to score more than both Jonathan Stewart and DeAnthony Thomas did as true freshman rushing.
Well, this, of course, is Husky Week, so for the fans, it's always a big deal. This will be up at Husky Stadium, and we'll get this chance to see the new Husky Stadium. So I guess we'll find out exactly how prepared and how well, as Coach Sarkisian says, that the teams mirror each other and what they do. I guess we're going to find that out on Saturday. So with kickoff at 1 p.m.
Fox Sports 1.
And on Fox Sports 1. So for Eric Skopil, this is Steve Summers for EUGENE.com.